Hey, hello. Hi. Oh, you're the first person here, I think. Hi. Hi. Hello. Hi. Hello. Hello, Capybara. Hello, Foxy. Hello, Octopus. Hello, Sam. Hello, CW. Hi. Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay, it's already 7. Okay, all right, everybody, I'm gonna start. Okay, today we'll be doing PSLE revision ready. So funny. Yeah. Okay, and it's gonna be and it's National Day week this week, okay? you all have half day of school on the 8th of August, right? Yeah? Yes, I remember you, Sukuna. How come now you changed to corruption 37? Yeah, you all can hear me, right? I'm so happy. Why? So happy because you have a little break? Is it? Hi. How your prelims? I think most of you started on your like prelims, oral, and everything, right? How is it? Is it very difficult? Okay, and right, all the best for your PSLE oral, right? You have PSLE oral next week, if I'm not wrong. Is it next week? Yeah, PSLE oral is next week, right? Next week I wouldn't have any live, so I cannot wish you all. So I wish you all in advance, okay? 1 week in advance. Okay. All the best for your PSLE oral next week. Okay, all right. Oh no. The day is coming, yes. Okay, I'll start going through some science questions, okay, to prepare you all for PSLE. This is a revision. So revision means it's mixed topics, mixed levels as well. All right. So we are gonna start. Don't cry. All the best, okay? Kira, I'm very sure. Okay, okay, if certain topics, yeah, okay, if all of you are not good at certain topics, it's fine. The most importantly is that you improve from there. Okay, you learn, you keep learning, and you improve from there. That's the most important thing. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna start. Okay, so we're gonna start with revision. All right, which is mixed topics, mixed levels. Okay, because PSLE tests on primary 3 up to primary 6 science. Okay, so let's look at this one over here, everybody. So for this, they say that, okay, over here it says that the diagram, okay, shows the processes A, B, C, and D. Oh no, I don't think a person can be bad at everything. Happy space. I'm very sure you're good at something. Might not be academic wise, but I'm sure that you are definitely good at something. Okay, so over here, which of the following identifies the processes of germination, fertilization, and seed dispersal in a diagram correctly? So in science, always highlight your key points. Okay, so let me show you the options. So what do you all think? Okay, so you remember my life from last time, Tian? What, which life? Okay, okay, so let's look at this one, okay? Everybody, okay, so Kahoot? No, today don't have. We just did it like the previous session I have with you all 2 weeks ago. We just did the Kahoot, so not so fast. Okay, so for primary 6 science is not so fast. If you want to know when exactly is the Kahoot, this week Kahoot is P5 science tomorrow at 7. Okay, by teacher KH. Okay, but okay, let's start. Okay, so what do you think the answer is for this question over here? A lot of you say 1. Hi, Duncan. Some science one. Okay, yeah. No, a lot of you said 1. Okay. Okay, and most of you got it correct. Very good. Yes, the correct answer is 1. Since a lot of you, but I still have to go through this part, okay, in case some of you still, those of you who are watching, but you all don't dare to speak in the chat, okay, I have to go through it. All right, so basically, always remember that germination. What is germination? Hello, Supernova. What do you remember about germination? Germination is a process whereby what becomes what? Any idea? Yeah, oh, Foxy, growing. Okay, seed becomes a young plant. Very good, Kira. Yes, correct. So you must remember that germination occurs. Okay, it actually represents the growth of what? Of seed to seedling. You can call it a young plant too, it's fine. Okay, so since it's from seed to seedling, okay, it is supposed to be at A because A is seed, and when the roots appear, it indicates that the seeds have germinated, has started to grow. Okay, so germination is at part A. And because of this, you already know the answer is supposed to be number 1. Okay, but let me go through the rest just in case you have options that actually shows you there is A, or a few A's over here. All right, so just take note that fertilization comes after. Hey, hi. What do you call it? Iris? Iris. Okay, I call you Iris, okay? Hi, Iris. Welcome. Okay, so for fertilization, you have to remember that must remember this key point, okay? Fertilization comes after pollination, right? Fertilization comes after pollination. And you must remember that these two processes, fertilization and pollination, occurs only when there is a flower. Okay, so it must come after the flower stage. Okay, so after flowers, after it has flowers. Okay, so if you look at this, B doesn't have flowers yet. Okay, so if you look carefully, B, no flowers yet. There's still seed leaves here. Okay, and here you can see that there's a flower already. So over here, these are actually our flowers. So this tells me that pollination and fertilization can happen at C. Okay, I just add in pollination as well. Okay, so that you are more aware of where is pollination as well. Okay. Yes, Foxy, but I have to explain for those of them who don't understand why is it this and why is it that. Still have to explain. Okay. All right. So in case in exam, let's say in exam, this is not the only A, then how? Then if option 3 got A, how? Right? I still have to explain, right? Okay. So then next, okay, seed dispersal happens after, okay, when there is a fruit. Okay, after the fruit, because fruit contains seeds, and that's when seeds gets dispersed. Okay, so for here, you will know that these are actually our fruits. Okay, all right, and for fruit, what happened is that you need to know that it contains seeds. So what happened is seed dispersal will happen at D, and then seeds will be dispersed. Okay, so D will be your seed dispersal. All right, so this is just in case I have to go through everything, just in case the options are very similar to each other. Okay? Everyone okay? Henjay, it is this. I'm going through PSLE revision already. So PSLE revision, P6 consists of P3 up to P6 topics. So yes, it's a mixture. Okay, Ken? Yeah. Okay, Ken? Okay. Okay, Foxy. Yeah, I need to explain. I know you know already. I know some of you know already, but I just have to explain just in case other viewers don't know why. Okay, everyone, okay? Okay? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Any questions for this one? No Kahoot today. Tomorrow, P5 Science is Kahoot. So y'all are P6, right? Y'all still can watch P5 Science as well. Go ahead and watch it tomorrow, okay? Because PSLE also tests on P5 Science concepts, okay? Okay, I'm gonna move on. No questions. No questions. I'm gonna move on. What time? 7 also. 7 to 8. P5 Science is by teacher KH. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay, now this is the one that until now students still make a lot of mistakes. Why? Because they never read the options carefully. Okay, sometimes they say after the egg hatch, or before the egg hatch, or after the egg is laid. So you all must be very, very careful for question 2. Okay, hi, P5, don't worry, you see, P5 also can watch because we occasionally will go through other levels topics as well because P6 revision already. Okay, so let's look at question 2. Okay, I'm going to highlight the keywords for science. You must always take note of all the keywords. Okay, so the graph below shows the number of days in each stage of the life cycle of an insect. And based on the graph, which of the following statements are true? Okay, so over here, do I do math? I can teach math, but I don't teach. But teacher Felicia will be in charge of math. I'm more in charge of science. Yeah, but I don't teach math at AGrader at all. I focus on science. But if you ask me my question, I can answer now. But we focus on science, okay, in the life. Okay, so over here, everyone, okay? Okay, so let's look at this one. Okay, over here, what happens is that, what is my name? You're asking who? Asking me or you're asking someone else? A lot of you chose 3. Some of you chose 4. Oh, me? I'm teacher Jody. Okay. I see mixed answer here. The correct answer. Hello. Hello, Xiao. Either 3 or 4. You see, some of you not sure also. Okay, the correct answer is actually 3. I'm gonna explain why. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna explain why. Okay. So over here, when you encounter such questions, make like math like that, right? Like math, make it a good habit to write down the numbers first. When you get bar graphs from math, line graph from math, okay, just write down your numbers. All right. So over here, 8 is 4 days. What about NIF? NIF is how many days? What do you think? What can you all see? NIF is how many days? 12. Very good, Xiao Hao. Thank you. Thank you. Wonyong, Octopus, Yan. That one about adult. Thank you, CW. Thank you, Hanjay. Thank you, Foxy. Adult, how many how many? Yes, very good. 8. Thank you, all of you. Okay, so you have to read the options really, really carefully. Okay, so option A says that the insect, okay, if you read carefully, it is a NIF for 12 days. So this shows me that yes, it is a NIF for 12 days. See, 12 days at the NIF stage. Okay, so this is actually true. I put T for true, and I'm going to circle this one up. Okay, but what about option B? Option B says that the insect can only survive for 8 days. Okay, when they say survive, it means that the life cycle, the entire life cycle is 8 days. Okay, and in this case, the entire life cycle is not 8 days. It's okay, Hanjay. Yes, Octopus, you must have a little bit of English understanding there, yes, and a little bit of math as well. Okay, so the entire life cycle is not 8 days, okay? The entire life cycle, okay, is actually 24. Okay, so the insect doesn't survive for 8 days only. Okay, so this is false. I'm not going to choose this. Okay, and for C, there are 3 stages in this life cycle. That is true. The moment you see the word NIF, okay, and you count the stages, okay, please be careful. Sometimes they put adult female, adult male, and they give you 4 bar graphs instead. Okay, so, but you have to read the options carefully. You have to read the header carefully, the title of the graphs. Adult female, adult male doesn't mean that it's 4 stages. Okay, if it's a NIF, this insect has 3-stage life cycle. All right, so this insect has 3 stages. All right, so this is true. Okay, and for D, all right, it is wrong. Why is it wrong? Okay, just not the whole life cycle. Okay, take note. Okay, please remember the whole life cycle is 24 days. The whole life cycle is 24 days, but read the question carefully. It says to become an adult. So if they say to become an adult, is it until we die? No, right? It's not until it died, right? So if it's to become an adult, I do not count the adult stage. Do not add it in. Okay, so to become an adult, it hasn't died. I want to count how many days it takes to reach adult stage, the starting of the adult stage. So I do not count the adult stage for this question, okay? And secondly, read the next sentence as well. Sometimes sometimes they say after the egg is laid. Sometimes they say after the egg hatched. Okay, so please take note, if it is laid, has it hatched yet, everybody? If the egg is laid out, has the egg hatched? No, very good, CW, haven't hatched. So it hasn't hatched yet. I'm supposed to count the egg stage. Okay, so write down not hatched. If it is not hatched yet, you have to count it in. Okay, please count in the egg stage. So 4 plus 12, the egg stage plus the name stage, it is actually 16. So it only takes 16 days to become an adult. Okay, so D is wrong. It is not 24. Okay, so your answer is supposed to be number 3. Okay, I'm teaching you how to do this D just in case you encounter such question in your exams. Okay? Can you also please be very, very careful. Read the question very carefully. Okay, the correct answer for, especially for option D. Okay? Everyone, all right? Any questions for this? Hello, I know you all are very... Can you hear me? Can you? Can you still can? Okay. Not sure. Maybe the mic not working. Okay, let me know if you cannot hear me again, okay? Okay. So no. Hello. Can you hear me already? Can? Okay, I changed the earpiece. I don't know why it keep getting disconnected. It's okay. I changed. Y'all can hear me already? Okay. Okay. They say after the egg hatch. When? Pitting. Where got after the egg hatch? Pitting. They never say after the egg hatch. They say after the egg is laid. So you must be careful, okay? They said after the egg is laid. Not hatched yet. But if they say after the egg hatch, then you cannot count the egg stage, okay? 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 Okay, but be careful. That's why this one, part D, very, very important. Okay? You must read the options very carefully, the words very carefully. Okay? Okay. Oh, I was saying why y'all keep singing the I know y'all are very into the very in with the K-pop Demon Hunter songs. I see y'all typing in, but you concentrate, okay? Any questions for this? What is OCI? Zero. OCI, is it the method that your school teacher teach you for answering open-ended question? Because some school use like some school use annotate. It's good. Make it a good habit to annotate, so you will avoid careless mistakes with doing PSLE. Just use pencil. Okay, PSLE, I know you cannot use. Sorry, just use you cannot use highlighter. So you just use your pen. Okay, and then you annotate. Some school use CER. Yeah. Some school use other terms. AGrader use DSL. Okay, yeah, it's still three-step answering technique. It's still the same three steps, just that they use different title or heading for it. Okay, let's move on. Okay, PSLE cannot use highlighter. Don't use highlighter in PSLE. Okay, school exam can, but PSLE no, cannot use highlighter. Who school teacher tell you can use highlighter for PSLE? School exam can, but PSLE no leh, because they're scanning your paper they are using digital marking. So if you use highlighter, it might interfere with the question and your words. Yeah, you underline, use pen and underline. Yeah. Question booklet can, but you don't use the open-ended, you don't go and highlight because it might smudge. And then when in like open-ended, right, your answer, don't highlight on your answer and all that, okay? So best is you just use a pen and underline. Okay? Can? I'm gonna move on. Yeah, correct. Cannot use the answer booklet. Open-ended, don't use. Okay, use underline can already, using a pen. Okay, everyone, okay, I'm gonna go to 3. Okay, 3, study the Ashton, I think your teacher meant that just annotate. Yeah, the most important thing is no matter what you use, be it the pen and underline, but I advise you not to use highlighter lah for PSLE because they are scanning digitally. You use pen and underline. Okay, okay. So everyone, let's look at this question 3. Yes, it's food chain and food web. P6 question. Okay, study the food web below. So which of the following statements is true? So what do you think? You're always, okay, I tell you all first, okay? Always make it a good habit to find your producer. Can anyone find which one is my producer? Okay, I seen a lot of Q. Okay, very good. A lot of you got it correct. TS and you producer? What the hell do you mean? Okay, must remember, okay? Producer are the organisms that provide food. Means that what? They get eaten up. So producers, right? All the arrows are pointing out, out, out. I give the producer, give food, give food, give food, give food. It produces food. Okay, so all the arrows are pointing out for producers. Okay, so Q, you notice that Q have all the arrows pointing out. It doesn't eat any organism. It is a producer. All right, so very good. Okay, and a lot of you tell me 1 is wrong, 1 and 2 is wrong. Okay, so some of you I see sending in the answer 4. Okay, so yes, eaten by. Very good, Hanjay. Okay, so if I want the statement that is true, right? 1, this says that it eats, right? So definitely wrong. A producer doesn't eat other organisms. Okay, so for this, it gets eaten by. Someone have just said this already. Very good. It gets eaten by P, R, and S. So this is false. Okay, next one. All right. Number 2 says that organism T and U are the only predators. So yes, a lot of you sent in 4. Might be 2, might be 4. Okay. Okay. The correct answer is... Oh, Daniel, don't worry. PSLE question, they won't go and give you such ambiguous organism like a carnivorous plant. But carnivorous plant also make their own food. So it is considered a producer still. Okay, but they will definitely not confuse you and put in a carnivorous plant inside. Okay, Ken? Okay, so okay, like that, that means they're torturing you already. They will never put a carnivorous plant inside. So don't worry, okay? So over here, alright, so for this, organism T and U are the only predators. This is wrong. Why? Because S is also a predator. Okay, why do we say S is also a predator? If you look carefully, you see S also eats R. Okay, but let me ask you something. Is P considered a predator? P is an organism, what? Is it a predator? Let me ask you all this very students a concept that students always mix up. Is P a predator? No, very good. If an organism eats a plant, it is not considered a predator. Okay, if it eats a plant, it's not a predator. Okay, it must eat another animal to consider it as a predator. Very good. Okay, yes. Why do you call me Asha? Very good. It's a consumer. Very good. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay, it is a plant eater. Yes, very good. So this is a herbivore. I use H for herbivore. S is a predator of R. Not Q, but it's a predator of R. T is a predator because it eats another animal. Okay, and U is a predator as well because it eats both S and R. So T and U are not the only predators. This is false. Okay. So yes, most of you got it correct. Most of you sent in your answer just now 4, right? So the correct answer is 4, not 3. Okay, why? It's because an organism R does not eat animals. Okay, organism R only eats a producer. Okay, organism R is a herbivore, H for herbivore. Okay, so R is wrong. R doesn't eat both plants and animals. Your answer is number 4. Organisms in this food web can form more than 3 food chains. Okay, so very good. Yes, hence. Correct. Okay, so now let's look at this one. Okay, so where are the 3 food chains? Okay, the first food chain is over here. Always start your food chain with a producer. So I have food chain number 1, like this. Okay, Q, P, and then T. Food chain number 1. Okay, food chain number 2, Q, S, U. Always make sure your food chain, okay, is starting from your producer and it goes all the way to the ending point. Okay, do not stop halfway. Stopping halfway is not considered a complete food chain. Okay, okay? Alright, so please understand this, okay? So next, we have another food chain over here. Q, R, S, and I do not stop at S. I go all the way to U. Okay, this is another food chain number 3. Okay, and the 4th food chain, maybe I use another color, maybe I use green. Okay, we have Q, R, U, and this is another food chain number 4. So total, there are 4 food chains actually. Okay, okay, very good octopus. Very good happy space. Okay, thank you. Okay, so very good. So any questions so far for this? PSLE? No, I would say as long as you remember your concepts, you should do fine. Okay, everyone, okay? No? Alright, so let's move on to adaptations. P6 question. Okay, so the diagram below shows animal J. Okay, and animal J lives in a desert. Okay, highlight all the crucial information. Okay, it stays underground in the day and hunts at night when it's cooler. So based on the information above, the 4 students wrote the following statements about animal J. Which student made the correct statement? Okay, so now I'm looking out for the correct statement. Okay, so for the correct statement, no Kahoot today. Oh, capybara. Just try your best. I'm sure you can do well. Okay, so let's look at this one. Who made the correct statement? So if you look carefully, okay, the moment you see the desert, okay, means that what? Means that it lives in a hot environment. Okay, and when it lives in a hot environment, all right, it needs to, the most important thing that it needs to do is to lose heat. Fast or slow? What do you all think? If it lives in a hot environment, it wants to lose heat fast or slow? But a lot of you say, but like David. Okay. Yes, you want it to lose heat fast also, right? Okay, so good. Alright. And next one. Okay. Another thing is it stays underground. Why? It stays underground. This is a behavioral adaptation. It chose to stay underground in the day to do what? To avoid the heat, okay, to avoid the sun, okay? So, okay, all right, so good. So based on this information, right, a lot of you say that, okay, large ears is not. You all say Ali is wrong. Okay, you're all correct. Ali is wrong. Why? Because having large ears, oh, the life is until 8 o'clock. Okay, large ears. The moment you see large ears, is a what? It's a body part. So body part means what, everybody? What kind of adaptation should it be? Okay, so large ears is something to do with its body part, a special body part. Very good, thank you. It's a structural adaptation. Very, very good. So body part is not supposed to be behavior adaptation. That's why Ali is wrong. Okay, Ken, very good. It's a structural adaptation. Thank you, Foxy. Thank you, user. Yes, thank you, the rest of you. Peiting, thank you. Yes, Jovina. Yes, I'm teacher Jody. Yes, it's me. Okay, so yes, all right. So Bala, a lot of you say Bala is correct, right? So yes, all of you are correct. Bala is made the correct statement. Okay, why? Because Steve has always highlight the important thing. Has, it's a body part, so it's a structural adaptation. Yes, the correct answer is 2. Yes, okay, so next, Chris is wrong. Why? Why you all say Chris is wrong? Because he said that it move by hopping. So move by hopping, you all must take note, okay, it's an action. It's an action word. It's a not supposed to be a structural adaptation, it's a behavioral adaptation. Very good, user. Okay? What sprinkler? Hello? What sprinkler? Okay, yes, very good. Thank you, Hans. It's a behavior adaptation. So Chris is wrong. And David is correct. They chose to hunt at night. Okay, it's a decision made by the animal. So it's an action. Okay, so it's a behavioral adaptation. All right. So they are not born with the ability to hunt at night. They adapted and they chose to hunt at night. So your answer, is Bala and David. Answer is supposed to be number 2. Oh, okay, most of you got it correct. Very good. Thank you for all your answers, 0, CW. Keisha, yes, actions are usually behavioral. Unless it's something that they are born with. Usually action is not something they're born with, something that they learn. So it's usually it's a behavior adaptation. Everyone okay? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Chris is wrong. I cross him out. I cross him out because moving and hopping is an action, so it's supposed to be a behavior adaptation. Okay? Why you want me to say yes in a very high pitched voice? How high pitched is that? Yes? Why? How high pitched you? I said it already. Sing apatu? No, why would you want me to sing apatu? Like, yes! How you got me to say in a high pitched voice? Okay, let's move on, okay? Like, yes! Something like that. Okay, I'm gonna move on. Alright, so let's move on. Okay, what if the ability to hop sideways? Ability is a behavioral adaptation. Yeah, okay, Daniel, you got the answer? Unless it's camouflaging. It depending on how the question is phrased. If they say like the animal has special skin, allowing it to camouflage or to change color, if they mention like a body part, that is structural already. Okay, but if they say that that there is a response to change, a response to the surrounding, like it spotted something, then it arches its back, or it spotted something and it changes color, that would be a behavior adaptation. Okay, a behavior can be more like a reaction as well. Okay, can So because it doesn't consistently change color unless there's a reaction. And then if they focus on like special skin, special nostrils, long eyelids, if they focus on body parts, then it's structural. Okay? Can? Okay, scroll up later, okay? I must highlight this part first. If I scroll up, then you all cannot see what I'm highlighting. Okay, so let's look at this question over here. Okay, so over here, it says that Mrs. Tan bought 2 containers of steaming hot soup from the food court from dinner, okay, and they were stacked on top of each other as shown in the diagram. Okay, and what did the person say? The person actually found water droplets under each lid 2 hours later, and which of the following shows the correct water droplets that were formed under each lid? Okay, so you must understand first. If strong legs, no. Legs, the word legs and the word strong, right? Strong legs is a description describing the legs, so it is a structural adaptation, not behavior. Okay? Okay, I gonna move on. So everybody, okay, so over here, can you tell me for water droplets under each lid, right? When they say water droplets are formed, means what process has occurred? What process has occurred if water droplets are formed or under the lid? Very good. How come no name on your name? Okay, yes, condensation, Daniel. Yes, very good. Okay, so take note that over here, the moment water droplets are formed, it indicated that condensation has taken place. Okay, so now, in order for condensation to take place, it must have a what? Thank you for all your answers. Very good. They must have a what? Heat loss is correct, you're not wrong, but it must come into contact with a what? A cooler surface. Very good. In order for condensation to occur, it requires a cooler surface. This is your P5 topic, okay? Cooler surface. Then with this concept, think the surface that water droplets is formed at, the area that it is formed at, must be cooler. Okay, and since this is hot soup, okay, now hot soup, right? For this lid A, everybody, this lid A, right? Is there anything hot touching the lid? Very good. Is there anything hot touching lid A? Touching. Don't think about the water vapor first. No, right? So that means this entire lid A, the entire of lid A is considered the cooler surface. The whole lid A is cool. Okay, it's the cooler surface. So based on this, what do you think is, I scroll down and show you all, okay? Which one do you think is, where should you find water droplets on for lid A? Lid A, what do you think? Lid A. I see mixed answer. I seen 1. I seen 3. Oh, the live started at 7 eh. So now already halfway through already. I seen 4, I seen 2. You see this question? A lot of you, I got mixed answers for this one. Okay, so lid A, 1 and 4 can be lid A. Why? Because the whole lid is the cooler surface for lid A. Okay, because there isn't any hot soup touching lid A. Alright, so the water vapor that evaporates, okay, comes into contact with the cooler surface of lid A, and it will condense on the whole of and the entire of lid A. Okay, so for this one, option 2, option 3 is already wrong. Okay, can? Alright, but now for lid B, please remember that this part of lid B, I highlight for you, okay, this part of lid B is in contact with the hot soup. So it is also that area there that I highlighted is hot. It's hot. It's not the cooler surface. Okay, you understand? Okay, so this area of lid B is hot also. So if it's hot, do you think water droplets can be formed there? Do you all think water droplets can be formed? Ah, yes. If it's hot, hot, is there a hot, cool, is that cooler surface? No, right? But I highlight for you, okay? But the surrounding over here in purple. Can water droplets form on the purple area? Okay, yes, yes. Okay, yes, because it's colder than the soup, right? Yes, very good. So for the purple area, is the colder surface, is a cooler surface. Okay, so this one for option 1 is out because the middle part is hotter. It's not supposed, you should not have any water droplets forming there. Okay, so your answer today no Kahoot, okay, is supposed to be number what, everybody? What do you think is the answer? Yes, very good. The answer is 4. Good. You understand already? Who is still confused for this question? Please let me know, okay? The answer is 4. Okay, whereby there's only water droplets forming on the surrounding at the border of the circle because the middle part is in contact with the hot soup. Middle part is hot. Okay? So cannot have water droplets. You're still confused, J Udon? Why you call it J Udon? Okay, J Udon. I just go through one side, one. I just go through quickly. Okay, one time. Okay, so lead A over here is the whole of lead A is cold because it is not in direct contact with the hot soup. So if it's cooler, okay, when water vapor, when it comes into contact with the whole of lead A, it is able to lose it and condense into water droplets. That's why for lead A, the entire thing should be shaded. Shaded actually represents the water droplets. Okay, so this tells me that 2 and 3 is really wrong. 4 and 1 is correct for lead A. Okay, then for lead B, okay, lead B, you see this pink color part that I highlight? This part is touching the hot soup. So if it's touching the hot soup, it is not a cooler surface. It's actually the same temperature as the water vapor that is going to come out. Same temperature and all because is both of these are the same thing, are of the same temperature. So this part of the lead B is actually hot also. So condensation cannot happen on a surface that is of the same temperature. It must occur on a cooler surface. So the surrounding is cooler. That's why condensation can happen here. Water droplets can form at the surrounding of lead B. Okay, Ken? Understand? Okay, so the surrounding will have water droplets here. That's why the answer is 4. Okay? Okay? Alright, I'm gonna move on. Okay, so let me move on, okay? So I'm gonna move on. Okay. So this one, let's look at this one quickly. Okay, so this is our open-ended, and let's look at this one here. It says that Anna wanted to investigate if the temperature affects the melting of the ice. So everybody please take note, okay? The moment you see the word, yes, it is open-ended already. To investigate. To investigate means what? What does to investigate means? To investigate means what? To find out. Very good. It's the aim of the experiment. And your aim always consists of my changed and measured variable. So what is the changed variable here? What is a change variable? Any idea? Very good. If the temperature of the surroundings, the CV means change variable, affects the measured variable, which is how much ice has melted. Okay, so what happened here is these identical setups, but they were placed in different location. Why different location? Because different location will have different temperature of surroundings. Okay, so the initial temperature of the water were the same, and after that she measured the time taken for object Z to drop into the bottom of each beaker. So now object Z, what happens when object Z drops to the bottom? If it drops to the bottom, it indicates that the ice has melted. Okay, because this ice block is holding object Z up. So the moment it melts, that the object Z will drop in. Okay, okay? Okay, so for this, all right, very straightforward question for the first one. What is the relationship The moment you see relationship between this and this, okay, please remember to use words like increase, decrease, or remain the same. Okay, these three words. Some teachers are very strict. They only accept these three words. Okay, only accept these three words. Okay, and everybody, very good. Thank you for all your answers. Good. So everybody, please listen carefully for this one as well. Okay, a lot of students, if the question say what is the relationship between time taken and temperature of the surroundings, a lot of students go and write time taken first, which is wrong. Okay, you all must remember to mention your change variable first. Temperature of the surrounding is my change variable. Please mention this first. Time taken second. During PSLE, please watch out for your variables carefully in the sentence. Okay? Can? Yes, and you must start with as your change variable. Okay, so as, what do you notice? As the temperature of the surroundings, thank you for all your answers. Very good, most of you got it correct. As the temperature of the surrounding increases, okay, the time taken for the object to drop to the bottom decreases. Very good. Okay, very good. All right, so the correct answer would be as the temperature of the surroundings increases, comma, the time taken for object Z to drop to the bottom decreases. Okay? Any questions so far for this one? Just let me know if you don't get it, okay? So this is increase and decrease. Please remember to mention your change variable first in your relationship answer. Okay? What primary what? This is primary 6. Yes, you can just copy your variables down. But don't copy from the question, okay? Why I say don't copy exactly from the question? Because sometimes the question put the time taken first. They say, what is the relationship between the time taken for object Z to drop to the bottom and temperature of surroundings? So you must identify your change variable and measured variable first. Okay, okay? All right, so let's move on. What is OWALA? What is that? Okay, measured variable. Measured variable is how fast the ice melt. Time taken for object Z to drop to the bottom, which is melting of the ice. This one. These two are related. They meant the same thing. So number 2 is my measured variable. Okay? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the bottom. The next page. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Now this is your adaptation again. The man's impact on the environment, actually. Okay, so over here it talks about global warming. Okay, so global warming, okay, causes the amount of ice to decrease. Okay, so seals are mammals, okay, that feeds on fish and other animals in the sea. They can hold their breath underwater for about 15 minutes, okay, but then they need to come out for air and rest on the surface of the ice. Okay, so this one very important. They need to come out for air and rest on the surface. So based on the result in A and the information given, describe how global warming affects, so must talk about global warming affecting the survival of the seals. Air pollution and air pollution is more of the air being very dirty. It will cause acid rain. Global warming is not exactly dirty air, but there is a lot of greenhouse gases in the surroundings, which is something to do with carbon dioxide. Okay? Do not mix these two up, okay? Okay, so for this one, everybody, okay, they say based on the result in A. So everybody, you must link back to the experiment because they say based on the results in A and the information given. So in your answer, you must mention these two things. If not, you will lose marks. Okay, Octopus, you got the idea there. Okay, so in exam, describe. Describe means step by step. first thing you need to talk about is what exactly is global warming? How does it affect temperature? Okay, so the first thing you must say is global warming causes the temperature of the surrounding to increase. Then you have to relate it to your experiment. Okay, so what happens is when the temperature increase, okay, you must mention that the ice, talk about heat. Ice will gain heat faster and melt faster. And what happened? It will decrease in size. So when it decreases in size, very good, Kara, you got the idea there as well. Okay, when it decrease in size, there'll be less ice for the seals to rest on. Okay, then what happens? Then we'll have to link back to the seal. Measured variable is something that's recorded in an experiment, Kira. Something that a person record. Like it's like the results of the experiment. Okay, so yes, they cannot breathe. You're not wrong. Cannot breathe can. But you must explain why you cannot breathe. Okay, because they cannot. There is no ice for them to rest, so they have to keep swimming, and they will eventually die because of what? Because they cannot get air, lack of air, and they will get too tired because what? Because the main thing you need to focus on is air and rest. So you must say that they will die due to lack of air, and they can die of exhaustion as well. Okay, very good. Lack of air, and they can die of exhaustion. And they can, if you say too tired, as long as the PSLE marker gets what you're trying to say, you will get your marks as well. Oh, lack of air, Hanchi, because they say this. You see, they need to come up for air and rest on the surface on the ice. It's very difficult for them to breathe while swimming. Okay, like yeah, so they will want to rest to take in more air. They can hold their breath underwater. So if you are running, it's very hard for you to hold a lot of air. Okay, like you are running, right? You're running, it's very difficult for you to take in a very deep breath. Same thing, if they keep swimming, it's very difficult for them to take in one deep breath to swim underwater for a long period of time. Okay, so that's why there's a lack of air there. Okay, all right. They cannot really float for too long. They have to like paddle. You know, when you go swimming, you will eventually like sink a bit, so you all have to like trap water or something they call it, right? Those of you go swimming, okay, you need to move a bit so that you can keep your head above the water. Okay, so over here I'm gonna write down the answer. Okay, so talk about temperature, and when you're talking about process called like melting, you must talk about heat, talk about the process. Okay, I'm writing down all the keywords that you need to write. Okay, and then next is how does it affect the seals. Okay, so firstly we need to say that global warming. Okay, talk about what does global warming do first. Global warming causes the temperature of the surroundings to increase. Okay, then your second step, hence ice will gain heat faster and melt faster. So it decreases in size. Okay, so now how does it affect the seals? Okay, the third part, there is less ice for the seals to rest on, causing them to keep swimming and eventually die due to lack of air and exhaustion. Okay, I'm gonna highlight. Yes, 2 marks or more usually need to mention, you need to write longer usually. Yeah. Okay, so take note, usually for 2 marks or more, you have to usually write longer because it's describe how, any describe how or explanation question, you actually needs to talk more. Okay? CR usually 2 marks. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight the key thing. So temperature, surroundings to increase, ice gain heat faster, melt faster, decrease in size, less ice, so keep swimming, okay, and die due to lack of air and exhaustion. Science is like this usually. For P6 especially for mass impact on the environment and adaptation, you have to talk a bit more. They want to test your understanding. Okay? Any questions so far? And I'm going to move on to the last question. This is not for P1, definitely not. This is mass impact on the environment. I think a P1 a bit hard lah. Global warming. Hey, why say that? Science is actually a little interesting. Math is also quite fun. This is P6. Immense impact on the environment. CW, scroll to the first question later, okay? Okay, let's move on. Last one. No question. No. Okay, this one very easy. Can you all tell me which part of the body is food broken into smaller pieces? Which one? Very good. Andre is so fast. Okay, so very good. Broken into smaller pieces is the place where you chew your food, and that's where your teeth are, and your teeth is in your mouth. So I should write N over here. Very good. Okay. Hello, where got stomach one? Oh, you're talking about the other one, is it? Yeah, and the part where water is absorbed. Take note, okay, no stomach. Water is absorbed is where? Hey, octopus, what are you typing? They're not asking where is food digested. W is where? Where should I write my W? Large intestine, very good. Okay, so small. What, Kara, what do you mean? What do you mean by you don't get it? Are you okay? Large intestine, yes. W should be the large intestine. Large intestine is actually down here. Okay? This one is actually the gullet. This one is the stomach. This is the small intestine. And the last one, maybe some of your favorite words. Anus. Okay? Okay. Which one? Why you don't know, Kara? You don't get it as in which one? You let me know, okay? Okay, next one. B. Describe how the digestive system work together with the circulatory system. Describe how again. Okay, the moment describe how, usually for if it's P4, P5, P6 topics, the describe how is usually quite long. Okay, so describe how. Okay, for describe how, take note that you must make sure you explain from the start to the end. Okay, so what is this from the start to the end? Okay, firstly, we start with digestive system first. So you must tell me what happens to the food. Okay, so you must say that digested food in the digestive system, okay, is absorbed into the bloodstream at where? You must also tell me the particular part. Can anyone tell me where is the digested food absorbed? Hey, you must be specific. Cannot straight away jump to the blood. You must start from the digestive system first. So you must say, digested food in the digestive system. Very good. Thank you, all of you. Small intestine is absorbed into the blood at the small intestine. Then what happens next? Then you talk about your circulatory system, because it goes into your blood already, right? So what happens? What about circulatory system? The blood in your circulatory system transport. Very good, a lot of you. Good. Circulatory system, we use the word transport. Okay? Please take note. Okay, the second thing you need to talk about is actually your circulatory system, which is transport. Okay, but please for the digestive system part, you must talk about absorption. Okay, so good. So let's write this one down. The correct answer is digested food in the digestive system is absorbed into the bloodstream at the small intestine. Must be specific, okay? Yes, Sanji, but must be more specific because they say describe how. That means step by step. From the starting point, which they tell you is the digestive system, to the ending point, which is the circulatory system. Okay, then what does the circulatory system do? Okay, the blood in the circulatory system transports digested food to all parts of the body. And that would be your answer. This is not reproductive system. This is a digestive system. Mel, what do you mean by you don't understand? What illegal move? What are you talking about? Okay, I'm gonna highlight the key thing, okay? So I'm gonna highlight digested food, okay, absorbed into the bloodstream, all right, at the small intestine, okay, and the blood in your circulatory system transport the foods to all parts of the body. So that's the key. That's how you describe step by step, like how they work together. Study tips, I would recommend, okay, those of you who are taking PSLE already, right? I would recommend you start revising, starting from your P5 topic, okay, actually P6, start revising downwards. What do I mean by downwards? Okay, you start revising men's impact in the environment, adaptation, try to revise one unit within 1 or 2 days. Recap, okay? Go then, after you finish your P6 topics, okay, now only left a few more, like, yeah, so a few more weeks only to your PSLE. Okay, so take note, 2 more, next month is your PSLE. So over here, just go back, just go down the list. P6, okay, you study mass impact, then you go to adaptations, and then you go down to forces, okay, to recap all your concepts. Go down to P5. Do not neglect P5, P4, P3. But the more weightage is on P6 and P5. Okay, that's why I call you to study that one first. Okay? What will you learn P5, Mel? What do you mean? Okay, anyway, if you have no questions, okay, all right, just take note that we do have online classes. I have to tell you all this one. Okay, so P5, P6, we have online classes, English, Math, Science, and Creative Writing. I'm conducting the P6 Science online classes on Thursdays. Okay, we also, those of you who are in secondary school, we have Secondary 1 and 2 Math online class as well. Okay, and we also have live tomorrow at 7 p.m. for Primary 5 Science. Okay, those of you who have any questions, you all can stay back and ask me. There will be, Kira. There still will be, but the weightage is a bit lower for P3 and 4 topics. Okay, but P4, matter is quite common. Matter, changes in state, okay, is can be commonly tested as well. Life cycle, usually 1 question. P3, also 1 or 2 questions. Yes, scroll to question 1. Tomorrow have Kahoot? Yes, tomorrow there would be. P5 science. Okay, let me bring down this one. Easiest question topic for science. I think it depends on different people. Oh, but please remember to study those of you taking PSLE, please remember to revise more on light and heat questions as well for P4. A lot of tricky light questions can come out, especially when it comes like for different shadows, different intensity, okay, you all must be careful. Why do they call it the gullet and esophagus? Because esophagus harder to spell. Imagine you have to write the spell out the word esophagus in your PSLE, like which part doesn't digest food, and you put esophagus, you need to spell esophagus. They want to simplify, Chewy. Yes, but when you go secondary school, you cannot use the word gullet anymore, you use the word esophagus. Memorize answers. Okay, only certain topics, the open-ended, you have to memorize. Like for example, why does a person's heart rate increase or decrease? Why does a person's breathing rate increase or decrease? The one memorize. Experimental question also memorize. Why does a person repeat the experiment 3 times to ensure a more reliable results? Memorize. Okay, can? Yes? Easiest topic. Oh, try to revise life cycle. Definitely got at least one question will come out for life cycle. They will test you at least every single topic. Maybe once. The easier one, maybe just one. The more tough one, they will give you more questions. Easiest topic for science, I would say diversity. Pyramid 3 diversity is the easiest topic. P3 topics are what? How come we need to, which teacher KH is tomorrow? What are the P3 topic for prelim and PSLE? PSLE, they definitely test you at least one topic on diversity. That means like it can mix, it can depends on, maybe they test you about animals, characteristics of the different groups of animals. Hanji, I would say, okay, a tip for PSLE, try to score full marks for MCQ. Because the moment you score full marks for MCQ, okay, you pass the paper. Full marks. MCQ is 56 marks. The moment you score full marks, you already get your 56 marks. Okay, can? Okay? Okay, then I'll end the live. Okay, I stand too long already later. Okay, then I'll see. Diversity is like different groups of animals. Reptile, amphibian, yeah, all this. Okay, try your best. MCQ is the easiest to score. Okay, so scroll to question 2. Why? CW, what's going on? Okay, the rest of you, I'm gonna end the live soon. I'll see you all 2 weeks later. Enjoy your National Day holiday. Okay? Okay, please remember, okay, if you all want, you all can go to the live tomorrow. Attend the live tomorrow. Okay. See ya. Enjoy your holidays. And good luck for your PSLE oral. Next week, PSLE oral. All the best. Bye. Bye. Oh no, not me. Teacher KH is tomorrow. Okay, check question 6. Hey, y'all can watch the recording. Don't worry if y'all missed it. The recording is available a few days later. Question 6 is this. Okay, I'm gonna end, okay? You're gonna stay until I leave. So funny. Okay. What plant picture? Plant picture? We mean plant picture, which plant? The mean at the bottom one? Plant? I don't have that. There's no plant. Okay, you're out. See ya. There's no plant. Which plant? This one? Oh, you mean this one? Okay. I have to end the live already. Okay, everybody. What water droplets? This one? You can watch the recording if you missed it. Okay. Oh, goodness. Kira. So funny. Okay, bye. Bye.